On the 21st day of May in 1934, Clyde Barra, Bunny Parker, and Henry Medvin stopped to get sandwiches at what is now the Panola Diner Cafe in Shreveport, Louisiana. A few months earlier, Buddy and Clyde had helped to break Henry Medvin here out of the local Texas penal farm, along with 4 others. While Medvin went into this cafe to get 3 sandwiches, Buddy and Clyde stayed in the car. Frightened by a slow patrol police vehicle, Clyde got nervous and pulled out and drove off. In the meantime, Henry, realizing what had happened, left the cafe without his sandwiches. When Clyde and Bunny returned, they was unable to locate Medvin. One story is that Medvin was looking for an excuse to get away from Bunny and Clyde, that he might have known that an ambush was in the works. However, he couldn't have known, on the other hand, that a police car was going to drive by and that Clyde was going to drive off. Now, this is Gibbsland, Louisiana, approximately 40 miles east of Shreveport. And what you're looking at now is the Bunny and Clyde Museum. In 1934, it was the Mall Cranfield's Cafe. It is believed that Bunny and Clyde, on the morning of the 23rd of May, 1934, 2 days after they had lost contact with Henry Medvin in Shreveport, came off of Old Highway 80 and parked in front of Mall Cranfield's Cafe. Clyde went inside, leaving Bunny in the car as he often did, and bought 2 sandwiches. Later on, a half-eaten sandwich belonging to Bunny was found in the car after the ambush. This is now, as I said, a museum, and Ted Hitton's son runs a museum. Boots has lots of stories to tell about his dad, and they make a lot of sense, and you can get a lot of extra information from him. When Bunny and Clyde headed out after getting their food, they then headed south on this Louisiana Highway 157. And they was headed toward Ivor Medford's farm. Now, Ivor was the father of Henry Medford, and they was hoping that Henry had made his way back to the farm from Shreveport, and that there they'd be reunited again. Keep in mind now that this was a dirt and gravel road at the time. This is the exact route that they took. Now, they had planned a rendezvous in case they ever got split up, that they would all meet back at the Henry's daddy's place. So they knew that Henry was trying to make his way back there. They didn't know if he was walking or how he would do it. But that's actually, they was giving him time to get back, and they was planning on going and picking him up that morning. And they had no way of knowing what awaited them on this final day. It was approximately 8:30 to 9 o'clock in the morning. This is one of the last scenes that Bunny and Clyde saw before the ambush. Now, law enforcement was hiding in the bushes on the left-hand side of the top of this hill. Now this is what Bunny and Clyde saw as they approached the hill on May the 23rd. Keep in mind, at the top of this hill on the left in the bushes was the ambush posse. Now when they reached the top of this hill, they found Ivor Medford's old truck parked in their lane, blocking part of their side of the road. The reason the law put the truck on this side was to force Bunny and Clyde to go to the left, which would place them closer to the shooters. Now I'm pulling off to the right here. Now this is a monument that was erected later on for the site. And it says on this spot, on May the 23rd, 1934, Clyde Barra and Bunny Parker were killed by law enforcement officers. Now, of course, Bunny and Clyde intended to go straight on down this road heading south. They didn't know that there was an ambush waiting on them. And this is what they would have saw. See how close the bushes are to the edge of the road? This really gives a lot of cover to the law enforcement officers. Now this is where they was headed. They had hoped to meet up with Henry at his father's house here. Now the three of them had stayed on and off in the past few months here, so they were familiar with it. They never stayed very long because they were too scared to. Right now we're looking to the east side of the road, and in these bushes is where the posse was hiding. Law officers stated that they had made a deal with Henry Medford's father to give Henry a pardon from Texas if he would participate in setting up of the ambush. However, a more likely story had emerged years later that Ivor was out in the early morning hours riding the roads looking for his son, and somehow or another he knew that he had been left in Shreveport and was on his way back home. So he knew that his son would recognize his truck and come out of the woods if he saw him. The posse stopped him and tied him up, is one theory, and used his truck as a decoy. Now Bunny and Clyde was approaching just like this car that's coming here, except they slowed down, of course, when they seen Medford's truck and come over to this side of the road to go around it real slow. Now this is a view from the posse's side as they saw Clyde in Bunny's car ease by. It's been stated that the posse started shooting without warning. A couple of the deputies had tried to give Clyde a chance earlier to surrender, and of course he shot his way out, and they were sure that wasn't going to happen again. Now this is the last scene. This is what the posse saw as they began shooting at Clyde.